Yo.
Let's get it.
It's Yo, what? Oh. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. You didn't.
Oh,
come on, bro.
Dysfunctional Family Podcast, episode 20. Nope. Dysfunctional Family Podcast, episode 37. The one, the only, the take.
That's not what I say.
That's what I say, and that's what you said.
But that's not the
spiel.
Yeah,
what's good, y'all? We back.
That's not the
2023.
Yo, 2023. January. I need to start off with a confession.
These are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on this side says she got one of
No, I do not have any side chicks. That is not my confession. But I do have a confession.
Singing. Remember I used to sing every episode and dropping bombs? I ain't drop a bomb in a minute. I missed y'all. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, go. Confess. Go.
Well, how are you rushing me? Okay. I need to share with the people that I have a confession.
When you're ready, you can confess. See, because you're ready now. That's why I'm
share with you that I am not going to be able to sustain a new back song for the rest of the life of this podcast. I have faithfully started this show with a different song with the word back in it.
What happened? I'm never running out. I'm an artist. I'm making my own songs. What?
Well, that's different. If you allow me to make my own songs, I'll never run out. But I am tapped out.
Any stipulations. I told you couldn't sustain it. I told you it wasn't a sustainable practice, and you insisted, what? I'm an artist. I'm never running out. I'm going to just make stuff up.
I could.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's give them some.
I just want to be real. I'm going back.
You did that already.
I know. I'm letting them know there's no way I can sustain it. That's my confession. Recycle it. Yo, I can say whatever song I want. Y'all like the songs, right? I'm acting like we live. We ain't even live.
We got to do a live recording though.
That would be fire.
Let us know. Y'all will pull up?
Yo.
Tell your friends to pull up.
Let's do live it like
recording,
this.
Dysfunctional Family Podcast. Facts. It's going to go so stupid, my boy.
Let's do it like this.
Shout outs to Brooklyn.
Shout out to Brooklyn. If you think we should do a live recording anywhere.
Make some noise. That's yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, comment the city you from. If you're not watching on YouTube, then email us.
Dysfunctionalfamtv at
dysfunctionalfamtv@gmail.com. Let us know that you want us. Let us know where. All right? But let's get it started. Listen, this episode is brought to you by Free the Soul's Clothing.
Always and forever. Always and forever.
All right, you can't sing multiple songs. We'll never, ever get through the episode. Okay. I know you're happy to be back. Happy New Year, everyone. We excited, man. We excited to be back with y'all. But this episode is brought to you by Free the Soul's Clothing. Always get your liberated luxury. Every single article of clothing is packed with self-empowerment, faith, and social justice awareness. And we just dropped these This Is the Day t-shirts.
When I tell y'all,
the quality is
amazing.
Control.
And it's not just because we made it. The GSM, do your research. What GSM is. The GSM on this joint is nuts. Yes. These are velvet letters. We got the days of the week embroidered on the sleeves.
Genuine leather patch.
It's heavyweight. So,
and yo, it's it's meant to be encouraging to you.
Just buy it. Because you're not going to regret it. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. Like, I'm not going to fluff it up. Like, just get it.
This is the day. This is the day is empowerment. It could be anything for you. This is the day that I love myself more. This is the day that I decide I'm going to therapy. This is the day that I decide I'm going to get a better prayer life. This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice.
I'd be glad in it.
God today.
My God, this is the day.
We ain't going to church. Yo,
all right, so.
Let's get it. Oh, I have another shout out. Can I give another shout out?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So today's my dad's birthday, January 13th. Boom, baraya. So shout out to my dad. Happy birthday to my pops.
Facts.
Yeah, just want to throw that out there.
Had to.
We love you.
Yeah, so, I mean, we starting the new year off with some more intentional content for you guys, but we're doing it a little bit different at the start of this year. We are actually going to be starting a series called Common Conflicts. And the premise of it is we really wanted to attack and address some of the most prevalent causes for dispute in relationships. Like, what are people arguing about? Why are they arguing about it? What can we do to combat these issues, to avoid them, to resolve them, to really build healthy relationships, right?
Facts.
So as you know, we'll of course always be giving you guys lessons from our own personal experiences, research, practices, and tools that we've tried out that didn't work for us, that did work for us. But we're here starting the new year off with this series called Common Conflict. So we're doing part one today. It'll probably be a 3-part series. So yeah, we're just really excited for part one.
Yeah, I would say this. Listen, this is the year where we got to stop like just trying to figure out purpose and like aiming, like wandering aimlessly is probably the best way to say it. The best way to figure out purpose is to solve problems. And I think that our goal this year is to be a lot more solutions oriented in our content.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're starting the year off with addressing what are common conflicts, right? What are some of the things that are causing the most breakups, the most tension, the most dis-ease in relationships? Because we want to use our close to 19 years of dating experience.
It's crazy to me.
Facts. Shout out
Nobody
to
asked me, but
Benjamin
it's crazy to me.
High School. You already know the vibes.
BBACD, we all we got.
January 20th would make 19 years when we first started dating.
You still celebrate them?
No, I don't celebrate our dating anniversary. That could be a whole episode on that. I only celebrate marriage. All the times we broke up as young kids,
I
don't celebrate no dating anniversary. That's just the first day
Probably
I decided
broke up 19
to ask.
times over these 19 years. It's crazy.
That's just the first day I decided to ask you, yo, you trying to go out with me? You know what I'm saying? But marriage is what I count. That's what I count. But we could do a whole episode.
Yeah, we're doing a lot right now. Let's get into it.
Listen, so common conflicts for the next maybe 6 weeks or so, 3 weeks rather, we may be dealing with this because we want to be more solutions oriented. You know what I mean? That's our goal this year. We want to provide answers to your problem. That's what the purpose is. Oh, I hit the mic. It's in answering your problems. You feel me?
Feel you.
Let's get it.
All right, so
what we scoffing about today? Let's get it.
So our part one of this series, we're scoffing about sex and money.
Oh, hold up. If you got the kids watching with you today, you might not want to let them watch this one. This shit we talking about.
Get a little spicy hot tamale.
Okay. I don't like the hot tamale thing you just did, but
let me reel it back in. Okay, so I'm scrolling mindlessly on Instagram as the majority of users do. Something that came up in my feed was there was a reel. I don't know if it was a relationship podcast or marriage podcast, something of the sort, but it was a group of men talking about sex and relationships. And one guy mentioned that you have to be honest about your sexual appetite in order to not be disappointed, to ensure that your partner is meeting your expectations, your desires, satisfying you fully. You just have to lay it all out. What is your appetite? Take some self-inventory, relay that information to your partner. What do you want? What do you need? What's gonna sustain you physically? And something that he mentioned was, and I'm not totally in disagreement with that. Like, yeah, you do need to be honest about what you expect, how often you expect it, et cetera, et cetera. But he did mention that, say, for instance, a woman only wants it once a week and she's good, right? Like, not that she met, you met a quota, but she has it one time, y'all are intimate one time a week. She's cool. But if a man needs it like daily or more than once a week, that pretty much y'all shouldn't be together, because there's some misalignment there with the appetite. And I'm not sure that I'm totally in agreement with that, because I'm sure there's some kind of compromise that can be made where, not that it's a business transaction, I don't want to come off that way, but there's some kind of compromise or understanding that can be made where it's not like an inauthentic.
Yeah, like you don't want it to feel like,
oh, I'm doing it just because my husband wants it more than me.
Right.
But how can we grow our intimacy so that we both kind of desire each other in the same ways?
Well, first of all, let me say this, because I think we skipped over something very important. In this series of common conflicts, I think it's important to let everybody know we did a little research on what are the most common disagreements. So the next couple episodes are going to be responses to what the research shows.
Right.
That's really why, like, sex is not just something random we feel like talking about because we're horn dogs. We actually,
because we've never spoken about this topic like as a topic.
Yeah, we haven't had an episode strictly about sex, but um, I'll say, I'll say that we did some research and studies show that sex, money, and children are the top three things people disagree about. So we're just trying to attack those areas,
Yeah.
and sort of provide some insight there. So I just wanted to kind of
For
like
sure. Yeah.
retrofit why we're bringing sex up in common conflict. So sex is actually the number one conflict within relationships, for according to this study. So let me just clarify that. But here's what I'll say. First of all, I don't agree with dude. I'm gonna keep it all the way tall. I think that using the language of like sexual appetite is it's not dangerous, but it must be taken with a grain of salt. Because a lot of people come into serious marriages with sexual appetites that sometimes are not healthily fed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes your sexual appetite could really be a byproduct of your, I'm gonna keep it all the way tall, your addiction to like pornography, right? So if like you come into the relationship with a really toxic addiction,
Yeah.
and you think that marriage is going to cure that, and now you have a wife, but the only images that are in your mind are that of
Just like insatiable desire to
right,
like.
like watching the sexual activity of porn stars, and now you have these unrealistic images because they're literally shooting a movie.
Yeah. Like,
They take breaks. I'm not even gonna get into it because I'm not like no specialist, but they're shooting a movie.
right.
So there are things that they do to make size look different, to make body parts look different, to make timing and like the way people last, the stories curated around it. Like it's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Telenovelas is crazy.
Yeah, like
Porn telenovelas is nuts.
it's like, so now you're coming into a relationship with these images of what you want your wife or your husband to be like or do, and it's not realistic because it's not that y'all can't have great love, but
right.
your images are based off of someone else's experience.
Mm.
So you haven't taken the time to learn the journey of your spouse's body. So if you're not on that journey with that person, all of your insight is coming from somebody else's journey. And it's not, it creates unrealistic expectations. So to say that two people don't belong together because of their appetites, I think I can see why it causes disagreement, but I think that's where it comes in, where communication comes in.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't necessarily agree with homeboy because in my honest opinion, I've watched people's sexual habits be fueled by unhealthy connections.
Mm.
Right?
So what about your past? Are you bringing into this relationship that's kind of tainting?
Right.
You know.
Let's say I want it every day, but I want it every day because I used to be a heavy clubber, a partier. So I'm taking a different woman home. So now it's not that I want it every day because I just like necessarily want you every day sexually, as I want it every day because my body is on a clock to take another woman home late at night. So like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
these backdrops that like are pushing you towards a future of commitment with someone can be unhealthy attachments to something. So my appetite could literally be a byproduct of a very unhealthy past. So you should not, and let me say it like this, you should not have to accommodate sex every day if it's a byproduct of an unhealthy past or unhealthy sexual connections. It doesn't mean we can't have sex every day, but you are not obliged or should not be obliged to accommodate me if I want sex every day because I used to watch porn every day. That I gotta work on me and create an intimacy with you that builds a clock around our journeys with our bodies. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, yes, sex is about communication, but it's also about we're coming into it with very different pasts.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
I know I've been talking long, but
that's good.
And I do want to say like anything that we're going to talk about over the next few weeks, sex, money, children, right? All of it boils down. The common thread in disagreement is miscommunication.
Yeah.
Like if it's any ingredient that's in any recipe of disagreement, miscommunication is in all of those. If you had to list the recipe of how we argued about sex, how we argued about money, how we argued about kids, the only recipe that's in all of them is miscommunication. That's my opinion. I think that not communicating clearly about your body, about your money, or about your children, or about your time, or about our future is going to lead to conflict. So I just wanted to throw that in there in response to your anecdote. Sorry, I said a lot.
How do
I'm
I
sorry.
follow that up?
My bad. I know. I'm sorry.
It's my next point. I don't even.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean that's heavy, but it's important to address, acknowledge, and like take into consideration. And the dangers of not having clear expectations, which is under the umbrella of miscommunication, because if you're not communicating clearly what you expect, you know what I mean,
right.
then it becomes dangerous for the healthy functioning of your relationship. Because you know, you mentioned porn and how that affects your drive with your husband or wife, if you're not honest about the hold or the influence that it had over you before you got with your spouse. And also being honest with yourself before you can be honest with your spouse. So it's like, what do I really want? You know what I mean? Do I really want it every day? Am I just doing this to appease you, as we mentioned earlier? What are the dangers of not being honest and clear about your expectations? Because if you're kind of just doing it to go with the flow, and it's not done out of like pure attraction and pure desire and pure I want you right now, like I want to be intimate with you right now, then what will the byproduct of that be? Will it be cheating? Your eyes start to wander, where it's like I'm kind of just doing this, and it's just kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you said, a checklist, and then you start looking other places or desiring other things because what you have at home is not sacred. You know what I mean?
I think one of the things that has to be debunked about sex, though, is that communicating what you want is like an awkward conversation. I think we got to like debunk the idea that it's awkward to talk about your desires. I think it does not have to be a press conference. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one sit down in where we like, hey, we have to have a formal meeting. Let's put this on the schedule. I don't think it has to be that. And I think a lot of times when people say, oh, we got to tell your partner what you like, what you need, what you want for your body, that it has to be about that. And I mean, that has to be that way. And I don't think it does.
Right.
I think that there are ways that we can package. So let me give this little nugget for y'all, because this is supposed to be solutions oriented, right? There are ways that we can package what we desire that doesn't come off awkward. For instance, in the midst of intimacy, if your spouse is doing something you like in sex talk, I ain't gonna get too deep. Tell them that you like that. Tell them keep doing that.
I like that.
With money that did, whoa, I like that. I like that. With the did, oh, all right, we're goofy. Okay. I think that's one way to do it, right? Like in the middle of intimacy, like if they're doing something you like, you tell them you like it. Right?
Also,
like,
if they're doing something you don't like,
you move them.
Right. Don't say, ooh, I don't like that, because those specific words might like tamper the mood. But
move their head, turn their body, like, you know what I mean? So, sorry. All right. The kids ain't in there. They ain't around. I also think another way you could package it that it doesn't have to be an awkward form of communication is like post-sex convo. Like literally having a conversation with your spouse in flirtatious ways, like, Amanda, fix your face for those that's listening on podcast and see, you know, giddy and blushy over here. Chill out. Hey, I do what I do. You feel me? Like, stop, just take it easy. They ain't gotta, you can't even control yourself right now.
Can't control myself is a wild
cheeks all pink and blushy.
It's the blush. It's like the literal blush.
Oh, yeah, okay. You over there getting goofy face.
Come on, because the cameraman, you're making me feel, I'm getting sweaty. You
the one started looking like that. All right. No, but like post intimacy conversation, right? literally hitting your spouse with a text like, oh, I enjoyed when you, right? So now it's planted in my mind, oh yeah, she liked that. Or yeah, he liked when I did this, or when I wore this, or when I, did this little thing, right? So this is ways of like giving
this little thing.
feedback during or post intimacy convo. I think intimacy is entered into with the wrong mindset. We go into it. I think we go into it wanting us to feel good, like ourself. It's like a selfishness about it. But I think if we enter into intimacy wondering what does our partner need from us, and doing the things that maximizes what they need from us, and they do the same thing, you have the best sex in the world. Because selfless sex is probably the best sex.
Yep. It's
like, yo, what's going to blow her mind? Or what's going to drive him wild? Amanda, fix your face. If our objective collectively is to maximize what our partner feels like, a selfless intimacy, and that's each person's objective.
Yep.
I wanna feel your raindrops pouring down all over my love. I want it soaking wet all over the bed. I want the rain to come. I'm telling you, that thing gonna be danging. You feel me?
All right, we could get into the next part because I'm getting like sweaty a little bit.
But I think what we're saying is communication is key, even when it comes to intimacy about your body. It does not have to be an awkward conversation. It can happen during intimacy where you're telling a spouse that you like something so that they know in their mind that that's something to keep doing.
Right.
And it can happen post-sex where you're letting them know, oh, I liked when you did this. Don't do this again. But, oh, that was good, right? Like, and in terms of what Amanda brought up, I think to put a cap on this portion of the episode, in terms of like frequency, I think that's a journey. I think our bodies change physiologically over time.
Yeah.
Our diets change. So sometimes the frequency is a reflection of your diet. Ooh, I don't want to get it. Give them a little bit. Give them a little bit. Sometimes the frequency is a reflection of your diet. Right? Like, I think for fellas, now I'm getting to the science. For fellas, the more like foods we eat with soy, the more we like potentially decrease testosterone levels. So now our drive is a little bit lower, but the more like fruits we have in us, where our cells are activating, kicking, our blood flow, because really that's all that an erection is. It's like blood going to the lower extremities. So the more our blood flow is going, which is activated by our cells being kicked off through fruits and H3O2s and things like that, the more likely the frequency jumps, ladies too. And let me say this, frequency may also just be a byproduct of the pre-sex conversation and intimacy. How are y'all flirting with each other throughout the day? How are y'all talking to each other? Are you checking on each other? She rubbing your chest every once in a while. You walk in the kitchen, you smack her butt, man. Let her know she's sexy. Like, you gotta like, right? You don't gotta say, I wanna have sex. Sometimes you just gotta touch them. Sometimes you just gotta hold hands. Sometimes you just gotta have conversations. And the frequency might shift based on some of the pre-sex interactions.
Right, because foreplay doesn't have to always be like...
It might be 3-play.
Okay.
Feel me? 2-play.
Play.
Bring a little gift that you ain't expect home. You feel me? That's 2-play. All right, but yeah. Oh man. So
feeling good about that?
I'm feeling good about that. Let's cap off the sex joint.
Cap it off.
All right. So here we go. You want to get into the second thing? So the second thing on the list is money.
Yeah.
Money. You wanna get into that?
I think straight out the gate, I think part of the reason why money can be an issue in relationships, it kind of piggybacks off of the selfishness that you mentioned for sex and intimacy. People think that the money that they make is their money in a marriage. Like, oh, I make $100,000 a year, you make $80,000 a year. The 100 is mine. You know what I mean? Whereas we make $180,000. And regardless of having like joint bank accounts for vacations, retirement, investments, bills, just day-to-day necessities, it really just goes back to selfishness. People don't want to be fully transparent about their money. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I put the money in the investment account. I put the money for the bills. The house is straight. You don't need to worry about what I'm doing with the rest. Which in theory, I guess, is like if the house is okay, then sure, you have um a little excess that you can kind of play with to treat yourself, do a little retail therapy or whatever. But I think the overarching idea is that people don't view money as a collective joint thing in relationships. It's really a selfish view money and finances under a selfish lens where it's like, this is what I make. Sure, I'm gonna pay the mortgage. Sure, I'm gonna pay the car note. Sure, we got lights and gas or whatever. But don't worry about me. That's it's private. It's like a secret.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree or disagree with that, to be honest. I don't know if I agree with that being the cause of like why there's friction about money. I don't know if I think it's about selfishness. I think most disagreements about money are not actually about money. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just have to explore that a little more. To me, the root cause is that most disagreements about money are not about money. Most disagreements about money is about whether or not we're aligned with the goals of what we want the money to bring us.
Okay.
So I think the reality is disagreements about money are really about if we are aligned in priorities.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So if I think that we're saving up for a home and you mess around and you going out to eat, right? Now, eating for you, the priority is going out to eat makes you feel better when you're having a stressful day, right? This is just hypothetical, right?
But it's
But
fact
for me, like getting the house is the priority no matter how stressful your day is, right? If you are dipping into that money to go out to eat, to me, I look at that as a character flaw, that you don't have the wherewithal and the diligence to follow through on a goal that we're setting together. Yeah. Whereas for you, you're saying, in order for me to be the mom and the wife I need to be, I also need to be at peace. So if heading to get this specific meal gives me peace, you need to have that for me to be the best mom for your children. So now the question that we have to bring to the table is, are we aligned about priorities?
Yeah.
The concern becomes, do we care about the same things?
But I also think, yes, I am in agreement with that. I also think we have to consider, let's circle back to communication, where it's like, yeah, we have this goal and we're going to be really intentional about meeting this goal and attack it. But can I communicate to you that it kind of goes back to, for me, to communication and secrecy, where it's like, can I communicate that, hey, yeah, we're saving, but if I have a stressful day, I'm gonna need one day out the week to treat myself. Or I'm gonna just sneak and get it and deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, you should be in alignment with the same goals, but I'm gonna communicate to you that this right now, like I can anticipate that the next few weeks or the next few months, because X, Y, and Z is going on for me, I might need to treat myself once a week or once a month.
Right.
Just anticipate that instead of $500 going into savings, we're going to do 4 and I'm going to use 100, to do X, Y, and Z. Or
just set the number at 4. See, that would throw me off though. It's like, for me, it's like, if we're giving $100 flex room, then it's like, then that's not savings money. That shouldn't be included. Our new number should be 400. You get what I'm saying? So like, I think for some people, your usage of money, and this is where it becomes tense, y'all, because your usage of money can sometimes reflect your value systems. It can reflect your impulses, your responses to stress. It can reflect what you care about for your future.
I don't like how you're talking about me though.
Self-control. Wow, I think you just told on yourself, because I'm trying to help the people.
You trying to help me?
Sure, if you need the help, baby, I'm here for you.
I need the help.
Okay. We need the help. We're in this together. When Eve ate from the tree, Adam ate from it too.
Mistake.
So even though she made a mistake, we make mistakes together. So we need the help. But really, I think going back to the understanding of like common conflicts, I think money is a common conflict because people don't have clear communication about their priorities or they agree to a priority that's not really what they want as their priority. It's like number 3 on their list. It's like, I'm gonna be honest. I like the apartment we live in. Getting a house ain't that big to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for some people, it's like, I'm straight, right? So I think arguments can be avoided, not when we're aligned about what we use money for.
Yeah.
I think arguments can be avoided when we get more alignment about what we care about. Because I think when we find a solution or some common ground about what we care about, the money follows how our heart like goes after something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when we mesh in that area, that's when the conversation about money become easier. So like, it's nothing for us to agree to say, yo, we're gonna drop X, Y, and Z on new mics for the podcast because we're aligned that we think this is of value and of importance.
Yeah.
That, like it won't be hesitation for either one of us. If our camera guy say, yo, we need some new lights, we be like, how much? Right? Because I think there's alignment about the value of this platform. So I think when we align about what we care about, the money follows. So money problems are not about money. Money problems are about priorities. I ain't even mean to kill it like that, but I think I just killed it.
Okay. Feeling good.
All right. Yeah, I felt good after that. That felt crazy. All right. Listen, y'all, we hope that was helpful. We know it's hard to talk.
Yeah, can't talk about everything.
Listen, we ain't trying to cancel this podcast anytime soon. So if we need to revisit the topics of money or sex,
we're gonna spend a block.
We're gonna spend a block. We're gonna come back to it. But all of those things, the overarching ingredient to disagreement in either of those areas is miscommunication. So get more self-aware and clearer about your own communication skills, and those other things will actually get a lot better because you feel freer to talk.
Facts.
In the bedroom and at the bank.
Talking at the bank is wild.
Yeah.
All right. Go. I want to go lay down.
All right. Speaking of go lay down, this episode is also brought to you by Rest by Lynn. Listen, I'm right now holding one of the most comfortable pillows I have ever laid my head on. Ever. And I'm not saying this because this is a partnership. It's actually a partnership because I believe this is one of the most comfortable pillows I've ever laid on. Listen, hit up restbylynn.com. She's offering y'all a special discount only because y'all rocking with Dysfunctional Family. So go to restbylynn.com for all of your pillows. I'm talking
she got
pillows.
Neck pillows.
Yeah, neck pillows
she
for
got
when you fly in. Couch pillows.
She got floor pillows.
Floor pillows.
If you want to go on a picnic, the oversized jumbo joint.
I mean, all the dope pillows.
Galore.
Y'all go to restbylynn.com. She has a special code just for you for tuning in. TFF15. All right? 15. That stands for Dysfunctional Family. So TFF15, and you're going to get 15% off any of your orders. All right? I'm telling you, go. This is some of the best pillows you'll ever get. And they beautiful, too.
Beautiful. So many different Kente fabric.
It's just beautiful. All right. Rest by Lynn. Peace. Let's get it. Let's get into it.
Tell me more. All right. How many pennies do you think could fit in this room?
How many pennies do you think could fit in this room?
It's not my question. I mean, it's my question to you. It's not my question to answer. Go. How many pennies?
I wanted to answer the next one.
Okay. All right. You want to answer the next one? I think.
But you asking this arbitrary question, do you have an answer for this?
No, I ain't think about it.
Can we Google like how many pennies could fit in a certain amount of square feet? No, to have like some kind of like closure about it once it's done.
We'll Google it after we answer.
All right, let me hold your phone.
No. Answer the question. Oh, am I answering the question?
I'll answer it if you want me to.
All right, so I'm gonna Google it while you answer to see how close you are.
I think we can get.
What space are we looking at though? Like what?
Just say, because we only in the living room, so let's say the living room alone is what?
I don't know. How many pennies?
Telling people how many square feet we got in the house.
Mind your business.
Let's say what 600 square feet.
That's just so weird. Yeah.
How many pennies can fit in a 600 square foot room? Yeah. No, I'm bugging. Let's go down. 500 square feet.
500 square foot room. All right, what's your answer?
14 million.
So it says 256 pennies per square foot if the rows are straight. So it was 256. Don't do the math because that's gonna piss me off. 256 times 500.
I won't.
128,000.
They lying.
But I guess that's
I
just
could get millions in this mug.
I think that's to fit the floor though. I don't know if that's to fill the room.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, but they said
so then
per square foot. So I'm thinking no penny overlaps.
This is why I was trying to figure this out on a podcast episode, because this is the most irrelevant question I think we've ever asked ever.
So we would have to
Where'd
do
you
this
get this
number.
question from?
Mind your business.
Okay.
Why you gotta let them know I picked the question?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have disclosed
exposing me
that.
all crazy this episode. All right.
If you had unlimited...
You asking me?
Yes, you just made me answer that.
Confused.
See, I wanted to answer the second one.
All right,
if you had unlimited... No, it's yours.
And I'll answer both for the next episode.
No, not happening. If you had unlimited money to start a business, what would it be? For those listening on podcast platforms, the silence is literally her just staring at me because she's shocked by a question that she helped select.
To start a business.
Crazy. Shocked is wild.
I think it would be...
Think about this?
I don't know. I don't know for sure if I have like a complete answer or like a succinct vision.
It's all spicy.
But it will be something in alignment with like literacy support. So like free books or like one-on-one tutoring for reading comprehension and stuff. Some kind of like engaging way to give back to people.
So what you already do, just at a larger scale?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotcha. I want to do something that I'm not doing at all. I just want to buy mad land and teach Black people how to farm, because I'm tired of the food deserts and food insecurity in our neighborhoods.
That is so sweet.
So if you just get a lot of land and get the best farmers in the world to teach them the science of plants and botany.
Shout out to Free Haven Farms though. If y'all don't follow them, they're like black owned, based here in New Jersey.
Is that Lawnside? No, not Lawnside.
Yeah, follow them on Instagram. Free Haven Farms, black owned. This guy and his wife. She's like a soil doctor. I don't even
soil
know.
Doctor is crazy.
She is.
She
but
has
like
her PhD.
Yeah, so like they study soil and how to like use it to. They're incredible. You know, like just go follow them, and they teach you how to grow your own food, how to. Yeah, it's incredible. Free Haven Farms.
Look, shout outs to ain't even our sponsors for real. But yeah, it's all good. We love y'all. Listen, our Cash App, this is a new thing we doing. Yeah. People have been asking how they can show love and support us, even if, you know, they don't have like or desire to be on Patreon or anything like that. Yeah. So moving forward, you'll see our Cash App on the bottom of the screen. Show us some love if you've been blessed, if you've been uplifted, encouraged, or helped by anything we do. We got a lot more things we want to do with the Dysfunctional Family Network, a lot more shows we want to be able to produce. So it's not just like money coming to our pockets. It's actually money so that we can build this out to be a full network of shows and family content. Yeah. We have amazing ideas, and sometimes, you know, just being honest, you don't have all of the resources you need to make some of those ideas come to pass. So any help would be great. If you enjoy the content, then it's a no-brainer to show some love.
Yeah, hit our Cash App, Dysfunctional Family. Okay.
We are.
I don't ever be...
I'm out this mug.
Okay, we're out this mug.